Greetings to Sam. A very good morning to everyone present here. I, Muskan, would like to start this knowledgeable session on key to communication at 11:30 a.m. Communication is the exchange of information, ideas, or emotions. It can be verbal, non-verbal, written, or visual. Clarity and active listenings are the key to effective communication. Empathy helps in understanding others' perspectives. Confidence and body language enhance message delivery. Adaptability ensures better connection with different audience. Respect and feedback strengthen communication and relationships. SEMS Welfare Foundation, a registered non-profit organization. It is dedicated to social impact across various sectors. We focus on education, particularly skill development and entrepreneurship. Through our initiative, DigiSumUps, we have created training programs in IT, finance, retail, and entrepreneurship, impacting over 6,000 individuals. We are currently upskilling inmates in Haryana jails and collaborating with universities and colleges. We have also partnered with bank place over 1,500 candidates in jobs. In just a short time, SEMS has established itself as a force for positive change, equipping individuals with skills for employment and promoting women's leadership in various industries. This session is collaboratively organized by HKBK Degree College. HKBK Degree College, established in 1998 in Bangalore, is affiliated with Bangalore University and accredited by NAC. It offers UG programs like BBA, BCom, BCA, and BS with specialization in aviation, finance, and cyber forensics and more. The 14-acre campus features modern facilities and is located near Manyata Tech Park. DigiSamaksh is a company that empowers business through data and technology. We offer a wide range of services including IT software, data science, research, consultancy, and data analytics and marketing. SEMS Web Solution is a dynamic and innovative enterprise dedicating to transforming the way business and individual achieve their goals across staffing, skilling, advisory service, and administrative service. Founded with a vision to bridge gaps in talent, technology, and education, SEMS Web Solution is committed to delivering exception value to our clients through integrated, customized, and forward-thinking solution. At SIMS Web Solution, we don't just deliver services, we create pathways to success. Join us in our journey to transform challenges into opportunities and vision into reality. About the speaker, Amit Gupta is an educator and mentor with 17 plus years of experience in tech, education, and training. A certified GMAT, 3, GRE, SAT, IELTS, and TOEFL trainer. He has worked with Infosys, Princeton Review, and Allen Career Institute. Currently, he is an Harvard Business School of online community member, academic mentor of an Abu Dhabi based company, and the founder of Fokai Bank, where he helps students secure admissions to top global universities like Oxford, MIT, and Harvard. Upcoming his own challenges as a Hindi medium student, he also now empowers learners worldwide and advanced English skills and test preparation.
Thank you so much, Muskan, for giving this beautiful introduction. Good morning to all of you. Hello, everybody. My name is Amit Gupta, and I'll be taking you through towards the key to communication webinar today. Before we go ahead, let's just quickly talk about what we're going to discuss and what you require to do. So, everybody, please just stay calm, relaxed, be composed. You don't have to write anything exactly. It's like not mandatory. If you would like to write, that's great. So, just sit and relax, and in next 1 hour we'll be just understanding something interesting, something new. At the same time, you can share your thoughts in the chat box. I'll try to look at it as much as possible, and I'll try to answer your queries as well, because we're talking about communication. I'm sure you will have so many questions also. So in the last part of the session, we will be discussing the questions, and in that I will be allowing you that you can unmute yourself and you can speak up, or you can share your thoughts in the chat box. So this is appreciated. Now, without wasting a second, let's quickly begin. Key to communication. So before I talk about like how and what we shall communicate, like okay, face problem when I want to convey my message. I may not be able to confidently convey my message, or maybe I have a problem with language. All those things and ingredients we'll be discussing in today's webinar, and I'll be talking about myself as well at time to time whenever there is a problem. So I will be starting with this. Yes, I was a Hindi medium student, not just for school. Even I graduated from Hindi medium, and I faced a lot of problems communicating specifically in English. So there are two things. I can't communicate in English. two things. So I was able to communicate whatever thing I have or I had in my mind, but the problem was communication in English was a chaos for me. I worked on my language proficiency and then I'm able to communicate my thought process in English. But yes, initially I worked like how to organize the thoughts because they are haphazardly scattered in your brain. And when it comes to speak something, you face little bit problem. So that's why we do practice. And yes, that's the key. We require to do practice before anything, any important thing or something, and that's how you can go ahead. And I'll be talking about today's session also, like how did I prepare and how many times of practice I did. All those things I'll be discussing, and we will be understanding that. So without wasting a time, let's begin. Before I go ahead and talk about, I just want you to solve this riddle. This is just a riddle, small puzzle. Read it. You have four options. Provide the answer in the comment box, and then we'll begin. That's an interesting one. Read it carefully, then share your answers in the comment box. Let's see who gives me the right answer, or how many of you gives me the right. How many of you give me the right answer? Feel free to share your answers in the chat box. Regardless, they are right, wrong, doesn't matter. Just share whatever you think. If you are more people, then you can speak up also. There's no problem. You can say the number or the letter. Okay, thank you, Aditi. Yes, others are also typing. Come on, there are so many students. Just one answer I've got as of now. Thank you, Fatima. Thank you, Aditi. Two answers. Quickly share your answers. Let's see how many of you are correct. I'll reveal in some time who is correct, who is not. This is the first step. If you really want to communicate, you have to participate. That's the first step. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Muskan. Thank you, Abreen. Okay, nice. Everybody's giving me the same answer. Nice. Won't reveal right now whether it is right answer or wrong answer, but everybody is giving me the same answer. Nice. No other choice. Okay, nice. So your mathematics is good, I must say. I have got couple of answers. Okay, interesting. Everybody has the same answer. Okay, I'll just wait for 3 more seconds and then we'll move ahead towards the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution now. So everybody has given me 11 answer. Is the 11 answer? Let's see. The answer is 5. 5 is the right answer. How come? How is it possible? We calculated very well and the calculation comes to 11. But it is 5. No way it is. There are 6 elephants, right? This is what you must be thinking. But that is what the first step of the communication, guys. What is the first step? Whatever information you are getting through a text or through listening, you have to read it carefully or listen it carefully. The first step is please be an active reader or be an active listener. And that's the mistake that you have done here. I'm reading it, let's understand. One rabbit saw 6 elephants while going towards the river. So one rabbit is going towards the river and he is looking at 6 elephants. So who is going towards river? Only one rabbit. Then every elephant saw 2 monkeys are going towards river. So how many monkeys are going? 2 monkeys are going. One rabbit, 2 monkeys. Three. Further, every monkey holds one tortoise in their hands. So how many tortoises are there? 2 monkeys. So that means 2 tortoise. So this comes as 5 in total. Why did we make mistake? Because we thought that 6 elephants should be included. And that's the mistake. So 6 plus 5, we were coming to 11. But we are not including those 6 elephants. Rabbit is going and then he is looking at those elephants. Where they are going, we don't know that. So this is what did we learn here? The learning is we need to read it carefully. This is called active reading as well as active listening. You get my point? So understand that active reading is as important as active listening. I hope everybody understood why 5 is the right answer. Correct? Shower your understandings in the comment box. Thank you, Padma. Okay, great. I hope you must have understood it because most of you have not answered. So just understanding, I'm moving ahead now. And let's begin the journey. Yes, I understood. Thank you, Chandni. Let's begin our journey and we'll be understanding what we will be learning in today's session. Simply, if I talk about communication, what comes in brain? Obviously, like how will I speak? What will I speak? Whom in front of I will be speaking and whether he'll be understanding my concept or my point of view or not. That's what it's included, right? Let's see. So what's the power of communication? So first part is the speaking. When you have to communicate, that means you have to speak or you have to write. So writing or speaking only we communicate, right? So I'll share one anecdote with you, my personal anecdote. It's a small story about myself. I was studying in 8th standard and then one day my teacher told me that you, Amit, you have to give one speech in the assembly. They have given me a topic called time management. So you have to give one topic you have to give one speech on topic which is called time management, and ma'am helped me to create the entire content. She practiced, everything was done. I was able to communicate very well in front of my teacher. So I learned the entire 4-page script and I was able to speak very well. The moment I went out and I stepped on that stage, I could see so many people in front of me. I could not utter a single word. Regardless how much I prepared, regardless how much information I was having, the content was ready, everything was ready. Still, I was not able to communicate very well. Maybe hardly I spoke 2-3 sentences, and then I just rushed back to my classroom. From that day till date, I worked very hard upon my speaking, upon my content, upon my confidence, upon my consciousness, conciseness, and clarity, and all those aspects which we will be discussing it today. So whatever I am putting in front of you today in the session, it is based out of my experience, because I was the one who experienced all these problems and flaw himself. So, what are the things required for speaking? I'm not just talking about public speaking, I'm just talking about normal speaking. So, we need 3C and 1L. So, this is what 3CL we require: clarity, content, confidence, and language. First thing is clarity. What I'm going to talk about, am I clear with that thing or not? Second part is the content. So, when I talk about the content, means what you're going to discuss, what are the point of views that you want to talk about, the things that whether your audience is happy to listen that or not, all those things comes under the content. So if you are confident on the content, you have a clarity about the content, confidence will automatically come. And then when you have to speak up, you require a language. So that language proficiency come into the picture. We will be understanding all these all these components one by one. I'll be dissecting it for you, and then we'll be understanding how does it work and how we shall go ahead with this. And I'll be quoting some examples as well, which you're gonna enjoy even in the class, after the class as well. I mean, after the session as well. So let's begin. Clarity, content, confidence, and the language. This is what the important factors for us. We need to have a clarity before making a content, that what we are going to discuss. We have to make it up in a components as a pointers, what we're going to discuss and how we're going to discuss, and then we need required to create a content. So for my content, I'll talk about this session. Okay, clarity. I wanted to talk about, okay, how many like what will be the time for the session. Okay, I'm just sharing my experience with you. Like, what will be the timing of the session? Okay, so it's 1 hour session, fine, so I understood. Then what shall be the topic of the session, what type of audience I'll be getting, all those things understanding. I got a clarity that, okay, what exactly I need to talk about in the session. Keeping that in mind, I started creating content, which you can see in front of me as a PPT. In front of you as a PPT, you can see this is my content. Confidence, because I have a clarity on my content, because I created all these PPTs, I am confident about this content. Because I worked on my language proficiency, I don't have any problem in communicating with you guys and communicating what message I have. So regardless how many audience is there sitting in front of me or no, I am confident about my content. I have a clarity, I have a confidence and the language skills to convey the message. That's what I'm doing. So that is the first step and first thing that we need to do. Moving ahead to the next step, the next part, which is called active listening. Active listening, why it is important and how it is different. I'll talk about this, but let's do one activity. Okay, so I'll be asking one question. I'll please just guys just answer yes or no. That's it. Even if you can just type y or n, that is also acceptable. There is no problem. But you know what? I'll not be quoting your name also. So feel free to please share your understand. Please share your opinions. It's pretty important for me, because then only I can see your engagement and participation, and based on that, we will be evaluating you in the end. It's not like that I'll be evaluating individually. It's like I'll be telling you that, okay, this is what we supposed to do and this is what we need to work on. Now the question is, for the active listening, I'm asking, so before moving ahead with this slide, I am asking one question, and the question is, listen carefully, how many of you can draw? I repeat my question, how many of you can draw? Please type your answer yes or no. That's it. Just Y or N. Okay, one response, two, three. I repeat my question. How many of you can draw? Just three answers, four answers. Out of 44 audience. Just type Y, yes, N, no, anything. Okay, everybody says yes. That's nice. Yeah, I'll repeat the question. So my question is, how many of you can draw? How many of you can draw? Okay, one, two, three, four, five. Okay, thank you everybody for sharing your response. Just waiting for 5 more seconds. If I can get some more responses, else I'll move ahead. Okay, Great. Now I'll move ahead. Next question I'm also asking because I'm getting so less response. It forces me to ask another question. The another question is, how many of you can dance? How many of you can dance? Okay. Come on, guys. Participate as much as you can. You just have to type yes or no, even if I'm not calling out your names. So that's pretty easy, right? Just go ahead. Just type what is your response? Whether you can dance or you can't dance. Okay. Some of you can dance, some of you cannot dance. Fine. Yes, I can see now responses, some yes, some no. Now I'll reveal. Why am I asking all these questions? Can you draw? Can you dance? Some of you said yes, some of you said no. I'm sure you must not be cleared like what I need to draw, where we need to dance, which dance we're talking about. Nothing. I'm just simply asking, can you draw? Can you dance? I may ask you to draw a line. I may ask you to draw a circle or a square. If I'm asking you for a dance, maybe I can ask you like if you can just, show me any step, or if you can just, you know, without any step on any music, the way you would like to dance, you can dance, because you know that in dance what you just need to do, you just need to shake your legs and your hands. That's it, according to the tone. That's it, right? Or the beats. So this is called active list. The first step is, when I ask you can you draw, you thought that I'm talking about as a drawing. I'll be giving you some object and I'll be asking you whether you can draw that or not. But no, not exactly. Similarly, when I asked you, can you dance? Sounds like, okay, we have to dance on a music, on a song, or some kind of picturization must be there. No, it's not like that. It's just like, can you or you cannot? So everybody can dance, everybody can draw. There is nobody who cannot dance, who cannot draw. It's like we are not talking about expert level or some kind of specific level. It's just basic understanding whether you can or you cannot. So you all are capable. Yes, that's the point. This is called active listening. What happens with us is, guys, whenever we are listening to someone, we have our own biasness in our brain according to our circumstances and understandings. So if I ask you, can you draw? Can you dance? You are, according to yourselves, you are saying, no, 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 I cannot dance because around me there are so many people who dance very well, maybe better than me. So I cannot dance. Maybe that can be the reason. Let's say, for example, in simpler words, let's say I'm asking, is it a big circle or a small circle over here? Is it a big circle or a small circle? Right? I'll not just wait for your answers because I know that you take time to respond. So I'll be quickly moving ahead. Imagining that it is a small circle or it is a big circle. It depends whom I'm comparing it with. So I'm comparing it with this circle, then it is a small circle. And if I'm comparing it with this circle, then it is a big circle. And that's exactly is all about communication. Based on our circumstances and situations or the biasness, we make decisions without even asking from the speaker or reading from the context. So my suggestion, remove all the biasness from inside you and just clarity. Seek for the clarity by asking questions to the speaker or read properly between the lines to get the answer. This will not just gonna help you to become a perfect speaker, but also will be helpful for you when you are solving any competition exams related to English passages. That's how it is. So just remove your biasness and just go ahead with that. That's how it is. It will gonna work and will gonna help you. Now I'm reading what the principles of active listening. So pointers have been mentioned here, but I have told you out of my experience. Now let's read that as well. Pay attention to your speaker, put your speaker at ease, eliminate distractions, empathize your speaker, listen to the ideas beyond the words. Exactly the same things that I just shared out of my experience with you, right? And I'm sure you must be understanding what is the importance of active listening. And that's exactly we just used with these two examples. So now when we understand that what is a speaking importance, what is the listening's importance, let's moving ahead and drag down further, talking about the speaking ideas. Let's dissect them one by one. Talking about what exactly is the content. Let's see. Let me remove this. Okay. Fatima, I request you to please keep yourself on mute. When you will have questions, you can speak up. Now, let's talk about the content. We have to make speaking about something. So, what we shall, how shall we make our content? So, we should have a clarity and conciseness. We should have that in our content. So, let's say, for example, if I'm talking about key to communication, honestly, in 1 hour, it cannot be done. And I'm sure you also understand that. In 1 hour, in just 1 hour, we cannot include everything related to key to communication. And keeping this in mind, it was not like I cannot create a content. I have to. So what I did is like, I just went ahead, like, what are the major things that we can talk about as a communication? And I kept it here as clarity and conciseness, contextual understanding, easy to understand. So content should be according to your audience, guys. Now, what exactly it is, let's understand. How shall we create content? So to create a content, I'm giving you one tip. Please listen, and if you want to write, you may write. This is really helpful. This is really helpful, called SOAPs, SOAPS. If you want to create any content, regardless of speaking, writing, anything, you can follow this SOAPs. What is SOAPs? S stands for speaker, then occasion, audience, purpose, and subject. Let's understand what SOAPs are. So when you are making content, you have to create content as per your speaker, who you are exactly, based on your circumstances, your biasness that comes. Actually, you cannot ignore that biasness comes. So keeping that in mind, you need to create your content. Second is occasion, which on which occasion you are creating it, and on which occasion you are talking about. That comes under occasion. And last, I mean, next is the audience, whom you are preparing for. It comes to as audience. And then what is the purpose? Like, why exactly you are creating it? What you want to do with that session? And then lastly, what the subject is. I just read it randomly, isn't it? But don't worry, I'll be quoting an example to make you understand. So let's quote an example. Let's say we there is a speech, there is a political speech actually. So there is a politician who is coming to his constituency and he wants to give a speech. So who is the speaker here? The politician, right? Speaker means why people should listen to him. Why? Because he has an authority, because maybe he has an experience, maybe he has some kind of ability. That is why people are listening to him, and that's what the speaker is all about. So first he needs to create his credibility among the audience. If he is able to create a credibility, people will listen to him. Otherwise, people will won't listen. Generally, what happens with us is like we are listening to our people because of authority, because he's a teacher, he's in the class, you have to listen to him, right? But what if you get an option whether you can listen to him or you cannot listen to him? Then that's a catch. Then the speaker requires to make his credibility, right, out of his ability, maybe out of his experience, and then you will enjoy listening to him. So that's what the speaker is. So over here in our example is the politician, because he holds authority, he can make decisions for you. So that's why people are listening to him. The second is the occasion, which occasion he is coming and speaking about. So let's say he is here because he is telling people that come and give vote to me, right? So he's demanding votes, or maybe there is a function going on and that's why he came here. Maybe someone has called him for a wedding party, that's why he came here. Or maybe he has come here because someone has got died, and that's why he's coming here. Now you see, for every time he's speaking, his content will be different. I request Mohammad Nawaz Sharif, please keep yourself on mute, and when it is required you to speak because you have a questions, then you can speak up. Mohammad Nawaz Sharif, please keep yourself on mute. Thank you. Right, guys. So this is how. For every time the occasion is different, the speaking will be different. Regardless, the speaker is same. Now let's talk about the audience. What type of audience you're getting? Like if you're getting audience who is middle class students, high class students, like high school students, maybe the college students, professionals, maybe adults, maybe older generation. According to that, your speaking, your content, your speech will vary. You will have to put the variations according to that, right? Coming to the purpose, let's say speaker is same, occasion is same, audience is same, but because the purpose is different, you will have to have a different speech. Over here in this category, let's say he's a political leader, speaker is same. He is coming to a wedding, he's coming to his constituency. Based on occasion, his speaking will be different. Let's say he is a speaker, political person, came to his constituency, and he came here to speak to the older people. His speaking content will be different, even if his purpose and if his occasion is same, to cast vote in his favor. But because of audience, that can change. Right, now let's talk about purpose. Guys, purpose is just one word. What is that? To do something. So like I am taking this session to teach you something. You are attending the session to learn something. So I may speak to convince someone, to persuade someone, to teach someone, to guide someone, to to describe something, to explain something. So that's exactly the purpose. Based on that, you'll be creating your content. And then lastly, the subject, on what thing we are discussing, what we are talking about. So today we are talking about the communication skills, how to improve our communication, not just the skills, like the entire communication. That's what we are discussing today. So I believe you must have understood how to create your content keeping soaps in mind. One step, one word. I think it is pretty easy to understand. And we drag down the entire components, the entire parts of SOAPS, and I believe it must be helpful for you to understand. Now, moving ahead and moving to the next section, which is overcome nervousness. So we have created a content, sir. We have everything ready, but as happened with me when I was standing on the podium during my school and I could not speak. Regardless, I was having completely prepared content with practice and everything. Still, because of my nervousness, my shyness, my lack of confidence, I was not able to stand and speak properly. Has it happened with you? Does? If yes, what do we do? How to overcome the situation? I mean, the problem. So, first, we need to talk about the language proficiency. So, if we are proficient in our language, we'll be able to go ahead and we can overcome our lack of confidence. So, language proficiency is something pretty important, and the key is the practice. We have to have a practice. First, we obviously have to have a good understanding about the language, and then we can have it. So, now we went to school, we have a school education, we are studying in college, or maybe we are passed out of the college. We possess what is the skill set that we require to speak up properly, and the language proficiency. Yes, of course, we possess all this. The only problem where that we are not able to still speak properly is the lack of confidence. No, it's practice. We don't speak, maybe because we can have a thousand reasons. We do not have a environment, we don't have anybody to speak in front of him. Maybe if I speak English, I make mistakes, that's why I've stopped making mistakes, because I've stopped speaking English. Or maybe because I speak English in front of people, they make joke out of me, they just laugh, and that's why I do not speak. All these reasons are your just excuses. If you really want to speak, guys, today, in today's era, when you have AI with you, there are n number of tools and applications plus websites available online through which you do not require anybody, a specific person in front of you to speak. AI can help you, and then accordingly you can be proficient in your language. It's just that make 1 hour. Obviously 1 hour initially cannot be possible, so you can start by specifically 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So make it like that and count that hour as an English hour or a learning hour, that from 5 to 6 or 7 to 8 you will be helpful for you, and then based on that you can improve. One thing I would like to mention here, okay, and bold and italics and underlines, guys, just looking at reels or going through some Instagram reels or post will not gonna helpful for you. You are learning one word, two word, three word every day, will not gonna help you because you're not practicing. So today you are learning, but you will not be able to retain it for longer bit of time, and you're gonna lose it very soon. So what you should do is, like, you need to have a proficiency only when you will be practicing on daily basis, because practice makes a man perfect. In fact, everybody. So a practice makes everybody perfect, not just a man. So that's the point that I wanted to highlight. Now, what you're gonna get as an impact for the speaking, can see that your ability to communicate. No, why should I read it? Well, you can read it on your own. The point here is that what I'm talking about is based out if you're speaking that impactful. You know what? You might have seen that, okay, there are people and they have their own way of they have their own way, their own style of speaking, and that's what you are able to remember. That be it the comedians, stand-up comedians, politicians, actors, you find if anybody, you will find that they have this specific style of speaking. You may call it as a dialogue delivery as well, and that's exactly is impactful for them, right? If I quote an example such as Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, or maybe if I quote an example of some politicians, so you can see that they have their way of speaking, their style, and that is what their signature now. This is how you need to make it up. So what you need to do is, like, you need to use your tone, your diction, all those things, what they are. Let's talk about it. And then further slides, I'll be discussing it. But before going ahead, let me give you two examples. Just read them first, and then we'll discuss. Read both the examples, and then we'll discuss. Did you find something weird here? You find everything is fine? Are you able to understand what these billboards or these messages they want to convey? The first one says, wash and vacuum senior citizens in just $15.95. Are you able to understand that we are able to wash and vacuum our senior citizens? Is that you're getting? Or sounds like, okay, they have this price only for senior citizens, like we have in our banks. For savings, for FD, senior citizens have specific price. What are you able to understand with this? Second, let's see it, grandma. That's what the first sentence on the top you can see. And the second sentence below this say, let's eat, comma, grandma. What's the difference? Like, are we going to eat grandma? According to the first sentence and the second sentence, no, let's eat together with grandma. So can you see that this is called communication gap? What you want to convey and what the other person is understanding, that can create a problem as well as can create a confusions, and can lead to, as a result, it can lead to some huge consequences. So what is the right way? Whenever whatever you are speaking and you are conveying, let's say for example, you have your things which are perfectly great. Let's say for example, you have your content with the clarity, with soaps, you have created that. You have your language proficiency, you are clear, your audience is there, you are speaking properly. But if you are not checking what your audience is understanding, then it can have a communication gap. And that's why you can see that there are quizzes, there are tests, okay, and audiences, the speaker is also asking whether you are getting it or not. Your teachers may be saying it, you understood, are you getting it? All those things are just checking whether there is a communication gap or not. You also need to do the same. When you are conveying something you think that you are able to convey to your audience, please check that whether they have understood it correctly or not. And that's exactly I'll gonna do after the session. If you'll be having any questions, you'll be asking me. And then when you'll be asking me questions, that will be making me confident whether you have understood my content properly or not, or whatever I wanted to convey, you have understood that properly or not. That's how it is. So this is how we can see. The first one is the language part. We can see the way it has been conveyed, whether it is conveying the proper meaning or not. And the second one is the language proficiency, where the punctuation is being tested, because just comma, so that's why they have written punctuation saves lives. One comma is saving life of grandma. Okay, so moving ahead now. We've all talked about the communications, how to speak, when to speak, what are the soaps and all those things. Now, without speaking also, that matters what exactly it is. Your personality, non-verbal communications, what comes under this category? Your body language, the way you wear, the way you look, the way you wear your dress, the way you use your hand gestures, all those things comes under this category. So let's understand this. Effective delivery techniques. So when I'm speaking, sometimes I'm speaking fast, sometimes I'm speaking slow, sometimes I'm speaking like this wavy tone. Why are we using all this? So that we can attract other person. Otherwise it will, if will go monotonous, then the other person can, or maybe your listeners can speak, cannot speak. Maybe they are able to convey their message properly, I mean they are understanding your point or not. That can create a confusion, right? So this is why whenever you want to convey your message, you need to make sure that when you are speaking, you should have a variations in your tone. Lastly, your body language conveys a lot. So for that, you should have your proper eye contact. You need to use your hands for the proper gestures. Maintain a posture, control your expressions. If and then you should not lose your temper easily. So these are the things that we need to keep in mind when you are speaking as a non-verbal communications. Right? Okay, moving ahead to the next one, talking about engaging the audience. This is what I struggled. I tried a lot to engage you guys, but I did not get, proper response, or I should say, like a complete response, because there is a huge audience sitting, more than 50 students. That's what engaging the audience was a little bit problem for me. However, if I would have been taking a seminar in front of you, would have been sitting, I would have been having more, questions and more activities where we could have, talked more. So this is what my first challenge. Because it is a webinar, I can't see you. Only you can see me. I can't directly ask you questions because I cannot see a huge audience sitting in front of me. Because you are sitting at your ease. You may listen to me, you may not listen to me. So that is why it is more challenging when we are addressing a people on a webinar. So over here, your chat box is something that I can use to check whether you are understanding properly or not. So you need to, engage with your audience. So that is why I have started with riddle. So I thought, like, what should I do? How should I, make and set an engagement with my audience? So that's why I started with that riddle, so that I can understand whether you are there or not, how many of you are, connecting with me or not. That is why I asked you those two sentences as well. I mean, the questions as well. And then I could see that you guys are responding, and I'm very happy with that. So this is what you need to engage your audience through whatever way you would like to, you can. So if you see that generally what happens, people start their speaking. I'm talking about the outside audience, which you must have heard from, like brothers and sisters, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. All these are doing what? They are just making connection with people, with your audience. So that yes, they are calling me gentleman. Let me listen that. They are calling me as brothers or sisters. Let me listen that. This is how it is. Just making a connection and then try to maintain that throughout the session. That is engaging the audience. Now, moving ahead to the last part. No. But before moving to, let me share one story with you. Okay, just listen to the story, and I'll be giving you some reference also that you can search later on. After the session also you can enjoy. And that's a real story actually. So I'll be giving you YouTube link as well that you can refer and you can check that. So guys, I'll share one story with you. So there was a person. He was a singer. He has a band. So what happened with him is like he wanted to go from one place to another place through a flight. So he took a flight and then he faced some problems. What are problems? He reached at his destination and his stuff also reached there. When he checked his stuff, he found that his guitar has been broken. His guitar has been broken. Now he approached those people, like the airlines people, and then told them that because of you guys this has been broken, so you should fix it. And they denied that no, we will not be doing it. And this he actually worked ahead, he talked so much, he raised concerns, but still things were not helping out. Things were not helping out. Then those people were not ready to help him, and he approached airlines through mails and so many ways, but still nothing was happening. Then what did he do is like he made, because he was a singer, so what he did is like, understand, he wanted to communicate his message to those people. So what did he do? What he could do, he created a song. Yes, literally, he created a song and he shared that song. He uploaded this song on YouTube, and on YouTube he got so much famous that airline people approached him and said that please remove the song, we'll be replacing your guitar. And he said no, I don't want any more guitar now. The song will not be replaced, no matter what you do, how much compensation you do, doesn't matter, it will be there. And guys, it is really a huge success. I'm going to reveal the name. So the airline's name was United Airlines, and the guitar was a Taylor guitar. That's a name of the guitar base. And there was a person, so like he was the one. So I don't remember exactly the name of the singer, but if you'll go on YouTube, if you search United Breaks Guitar, United Breaks Guitar, with this name, if you search on YouTube, you will find the entire song. In the entire song, the picturization tells exactly what has happened. So he is able to communicate his message not just to airlines very well, to the entire world. United shares got, just got down just because of this song. And it was not yet done. He created two more songs just to make them understand that it was their mistake. So why am I quoting this example? So you can Google it and you can listen the song also. And that's an interesting song that he created. I repeat that: United Breaks Guitar. United Breaks Guitar. That's the keywords that if you'll find it, if you'll put it on YouTube, you'll find the song. That's the power of communication. That's the power of communication. And in today's world, you can understand how it is important. It's pretty much important. There are many ways. So anything happens, one person connects it and then it gets viral. So you can understand that it's the power of communication. So as a conclusion, what I wanted to talk about is it's pretty important for us to make our sentences, our content, pretty importantly design it consciously, your content, and then deliver it with full confidence after having the language proficiency. And this is how you can communicate your content, your message to the audience in the right direction. So these are the last takeaways, final tips that I wanted to share with you. Aim for the professional delivery. Enlist colleagues to listen and provide feedback because you require a practice. So when you are practicing, that's the key, as we have discussed. So when you're practicing, based on that, whatever feedbacks you're getting, please correct, then move ahead with that. So this is it all. Now moving towards the question and answers. So last 10 minutes are left. If you have any questions and answers, we can discuss that and then we can wind
Yes,
up the session.
one question from my side.
Please go ahead.
There, there are barriers of communication, and communication is noticed as a wrong communication. How to remove these barriers?
Okay. So I think your question is a little bit subjective, but I'll try to answer as what I've understood based on that. So you're asking that there are many types of communications, like verbal communication, like typing through, or when we are writing something. That's what I'm able to understand. Now, how to, avoid any errors and make this clear communication. So for that, I would like to refer that soaps first. You need to know who is the speaker, audience, the entire occasion, audience is subject. based on that you can create your content, and whenever you are conveying that, I'm sure you'll be able to convey it well. But just one thing you need to keep in mind, that there should not be any communication gap. So what you can do is, like, whatever you are conveying, at the end you can just ask questions to your audience to seek clarity whether they have understood very well or not. Based on that, you can remove the negative part and can convey your message in the right direction. I hope
Right, sir.
I've answered it.
Right, sir.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Please go ahead. Ask your questions, because it is a talk. We are talking about communications, right? So please speak up. Unmute yourself and then speak up directly. Throw your questions, and I'll try to answer them as much as I can. Thank you, Mohammed Sohail. Yes, there are so many students, and I'm sure you may be facing problems. Yes, please go ahead. Ask questions. You can unmute yourself and you can ask questions. You can also type. Yeah, Khala, you want to ask something? You can.
Sir, I have a question.
Please go ahead, Padma.
So I heard saying that by listening it can improve our speaking. Does this really help?
That's a nice question, I would say. And I will not simply say yes. I'll describe the reason also, like behind it, like what exactly the reason is. So, see, they are correlated actually. Two things are correlated. Listening and speaking is correlated, and reading and writing is correlated. How? I'll tell you. Just imagine you are going to watch a patriotic movie on our, let's say, maybe it is about our nation. When we are coming out of it, when we are coming out of the theater, what happens? We feel like we should do something to our nation, to country, right? This happens when we are watching something which is, let's say, talking about, students, or maybe educating students, or maybe children. We are coming out of the theater and we are feeling, yeah, they are really poor. We should do something for them. Why this is happening? Because you listen to that, and that is why it is in your brain, and that's why it is coming out of your brain through your verbal communications. So yes, definitely listening gonna improve your speaking, but there is a condition. What listening and how to improve speaking? It's like, whenever you are listening something, after that when you want to speak, guys, please record your voice in your mobile. Okay, this will be really helpful. So if you are recording your voice and then you are listening to yourself, you don't have to listen, you don't have to talk to someone else. Okay, you just have to speak, and then you just have to record your voice, then listen to yourself. You'll be able to improve. Okay, great. Thank you, Padma.
Thank you, sir.
Any more questions you can ask? Thank you for your appreciations, guys.
On the behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to sincerely thank Amit Gupta for our outstanding speaker today. We had a chance to hear a fascinating and thoughtful provoking conversation about key communication today. Through his remarkable ability to convey information, Amit Gupta left us with insightful discoveries and motivational concepts. His engaging lectures enthralled us and motivated us to study more. We appreciate the effort and time they put into organizing an educational program. Thank you, sir.